just keep on moving, baby. Look at this Jousting Lance store over here. You know, there's no speed limit on this character. I told you we get the 1,000 crits. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Today we're going to attempt to break the Jousting Lance, a new weapon recently added, using the character Speedy. Jousting Lance was one of the 3 new weapons added in the most recent 0.803 patch, along with the revolver and the pruners. Of all the new weapons added, I personally rated the Jousting Lance as the strongest of the new weapons, and I do think it's really quite strong. There is a lot of natural synergy when it comes to the Speedy character, and it can get extremely powerful. I'm gonna do my best to put together a crazy run here, while at the same time talking you through all the mechanics that you need to know in order to continue to get better at Brotato and win consistently. The Jousting Lance, one of the new items added, is a really fun weapon. It's got a unique attack pattern that, well, not unique, it's got an attack pattern that it shares with the spear, which is a relatively rare attack pattern in Brotato, where it kind of pierces out. You can kind of see in a jousting motion. You see what they did there? And it's a really strong weapon. You know, what is good about these sort of weapons is they sort of help ameliorate the downside of some of the other melee weapons in Brotato, namely not being able to hit enough enemies. So I do think both the Jousting Lance and the spear are quite strong. That said, there are a couple really neat mechanics about this Jousting Lance that I really like. Most importantly, it is at the moment the only weapon in the game that actually scales off speed. So not only does the Jousting Lance scale with speed, or pardon me, with melee, it also scales with speed, getting a 50% melee scaling and 30% speed scaling, which scales up to a 50% speed scaling as we go through the game. You know, this weapon is nice. It also gives speed innately. So not only does it, you know, combine well with speed, getting that 30% scaling, but it actually gives you speed. And that speed goes up as you level up. So starts off with 2 and goes all the way up to 5 at Legendary. So there's definitely some synergy there. Scales off speed, gives you speed. Guess what else gives you a lot of speed? The Speedy character. Guess who else scales off speed? The Speedy character. So as soon as I saw this weapon in the beta patch, I said, I gotta get my hands on these Jousting Lances, and I gotta do a run through with my guy Speedy in order to see how it works. And after a bunch of test runs, I can assure you it works very well. And we're gonna talk all about why, and just again run through and kind of touch on all the mechanics of this great game in order to sort of dig a little bit deeper. Do like getting a little harvesting going if it's presented to us, which it is. And I think this beanie is an absolutely excellent item for this character and build. Too bad we're not going range with a Wave 5 epic rocket launcher. One thing that's really unique about this melee weapon, in addition to the other things, is that it has a really long attack. A very good innate attack range. You might even say too much of an innate attack range. So until your attack speed really gets up and going, I do think it's actually advantageous to go ahead and take a little bit of negative range, just so you're not slowed down too much, because as the default weapon sort of attacks, you know, it's not super strong because of how long it takes that attack animation to play. Gentle note, in this game Brotato, your attack speed with melee weapons is very much intertwined with your range, meaning that longer ranged attacks do in fact you know, take longer. So that is certainly a mechanic that we do want to think about. I do think the spear does combine quite well with Jousting Lance as a general rule of thumb. That said, we're going to try to go ahead and make these Jousting Lances pretty crazy. I did pick up the sunglasses there because these Jousting Lances do have a really nice 2x modifier to their crit, and that makes crit relatively strong on this character. The Jousting Lance Speedy build works very well with crit, so anything like Hunting Trophy or Tentacle are all items that you really want to look out for if you're able to get crit going. Now you don't need crit, but again, I found that you can readily get this character to crit for 750, 800, even 1,000, depending on how it goes. Once we go ahead and wrap up this wave, we'll take a little bit more of a deeper look at Speedy's mechanics and sort of talk about and think about how they intertwine so well with these Jousting Lances. But really fun to sort of combine together, and you can do some pretty cool stuff, which I'm hoping we'll be able to demonstrate. With high base damage, I really do like percent damage. So we can see here, Speedy, 30% speed, but most importantly, 1 melee damage for every 2% speed you have. So with all this speed buffing all our Jousting Lances, you really can put a strong character together playing this. We'll go ahead and lock that Jousting Worm to drop our range a little bit. I do think kind of the sweet spot when you're starting out in terms of dropping range with this item, this weapon, is probably negative 35 to 50. You don't want to drop it like all the way and really tank your attack speed, but I do think dropping it a little bit is actually a good thing, at least at the start. This weapon is really, really hungry for attack speed. It deals a lot of damage, it has a great crit, and it's in a good attack pattern. That said, the biggest downside is it attacks relatively slowly. So I do think really prioritizing attack speed is a really good way to ensure some consistent success with this character. In addition, once you get your attack speed up to a decent amount, this item, you can go ahead and raise the range back up. I really like community support on this character. I like it on most characters, but it's really, really strong on Speedy in particular. So hopefully we're fortunate enough to see some of those here today. Don't love losing luck, but speed is so good in this character that we'll go ahead and pick that up. And we'll take a little harvesting, try to get that online, and go ahead and take 15 luck just to sort of see a little bit better things here. The big downside of Speedy, however, is you get -3 armor. However, even more so, you get -100 armor when standing still. That means when standing still, you will take double damage. So you definitely want to not stand still. And it's something to think about. For me, when I'm playing this game, I tend to do a lot of like stutter stepping. Like I'll see like this guy shoot an orb, and I'll go ahead and like stutter step in order to slow myself down so I can kind of dodge around it, which is a habit I think you need to break a little bit on this character, simply because I have had runs where I'm at the bosses and I sort of try to stutter step through a projectile, and I just get whacked for like 80. So that's definitely a big downside of this character. So you always want to be moving. If that sort of penalty wasn't enough, the Jousting Lances do provide a -10% damage penalty that scales up to, I believe, 20% at Legendary. So you're sort of double penalized by standing still. So what's the best way to handle that? Just don't stand still. Just keep on moving, baby. We are not stopping. So it is something to keep in mind with this character. That is a pretty big disadvantage. Again, we'll drop our range, and we're kind of getting close to that sweet spot. And again, here we have a couple different options. 12% damage, which is good. 2 armor, which is really good. But hey, we're playing Speedy. We are going to crank that speed. Do like a bowler hat. Again, I don't like losing the attack speed and crit, but man, it gives us so many good stats. And I do really like the Coffee. Cyber Ball, because we got decent luck, we'll go ahead and take. And because we don't have anything that synergizes with Rip and Tear, we will leave it be for now. Obviously, the sort of holy grail of this character is the Power Generator. The Power Generator is one of the best items in the game, as it normally is. However, it is absolutely bonkers with Speedy. As a reminder, Power Generator is an epic item that gives you 1% damage for every 1 speed you have. Considering you can regularly crank this character up to like 150, 200% speed by the end, it's just an insane amount of damage, and I think a key to really pulverizing those bosses. So I'm hoping we will be fortunate to see that. So really do like community support on this, really like the Power Generator on this character. I also really enjoy community support. I really enjoy Rip and Tear. That's quite strong on this character. So there are a lot of sort of fun items that really take this character into the next level powerful if you're able to get it going. And obviously we really want to crank that speed, get it up as high as we can, so we can barely move and we're running into things. But that's part of the fun, right? Is just get too fast for your own good. There's no speed limit on this character. Don't think that trade-off is worth it. We're not going to roll with the weird ghost. A little more survivability isn't a bad thing since we don't have any regen. Looking for something a little better. And I will actually go ahead and take some luck because I think there's a lot of sort of rarer items that work really well with this character. That said, not turning down 6 just fresh melee damage. We'll go ahead and combine our Jousting Lances here. Don't really think any of those are worth it. Sort of debating a schmoop here. But considering it won't get us to positive regen, I will simply take the luck. And here we go, one of the items I really do like, Rip and Tear. Rip and Tear is a really good item in melee generally, although it has times when it's much better than others. I do think this character in particular is strong with it, and here's why. Rip and Tear, when you're playing something like Ghost Axes or Knives, isn't really as good because it really only causes explosions immediately near you, and there's a good chance that your sort of swing would likely kill them anyway. The main reason you want it on something like Knives is because it can create chain reactions, or pruners, as we saw in our most recent Break the Farmer guide, where we really utilize pruners. But the reason I think Rip and Tear is even better on this character than others is because this sort of darting motion will commonly hit through enemies and hit enemies in the back. So if you're able to sort of swing through a bunch of enemies and blow up a bunch of them, like kind of on the back row, I just think it's a little bit better. Strong item regardless, but I think particularly strong on Speedy. So definitely an item you want to keep an eye out for as we kind of make our way through this run, which I'm feeling relatively good about. You know, we quite haven't seen any like insane power, but it feels like we're off to a relatively decent start. And again, once we break this kit, it gets a lot of fun. No need for a turret. We're pretty good crit at 31, so really happy to see that. And I do want to get a little bit of armor just for safety. And again, with 46 melee damage, I'm happy to take more luck, giving us a better chance at some of these really powerful items. Do you like Peaceful Bee? As I think defense is a little bit better on this character than others, which is something I will elaborate a little bit. Somewhat tempting to take the explosive shells. It does, in fact, work with this Rip and Tear. However, you know, that only increases the damage there a little bit, so I think we're better off just trying to get our melee online. And Cute Monkey is really, really strong, as it is on most melee characters. Now, one of the key things about this is you're going to have to build yourself a little bit more defense than you might normally, and that's because you end up moving so quickly by the end that, you know, you're really in danger of kind of running into things you probably would dodge if you were actually slower. I think it's fun. It gets a little hectic, but, you know, when you start moving too fast, you know, it ends up becoming a little bit more challenging to dodge, especially once we start seeing the wizard enemy type. He starts appearing on wave 14. What happens is there ends up being so many projectiles in the map that you like accidentally run into them because you're just moving so quickly. And also there's like an adjustment because you're normally like, hey, I always want more speed. But in this character, you can end up getting so much that you kind of just run into things by mistake. That just means I like a little bit more defense on this character simply because, you know, I take a little bit more accidental damage. I try not to get hit more than like a couple times at most a wave, but I do find myself getting hit way more on this character. But we're really starting to see this character get strong with all that Rip and Tear ability. You know, this seems counterproductive, but we have so much speed that just 1% is like not going to really hurt us. But we take 9% for sure. We have decent harvesting, so I do like a crown. We do have 15 attack speed. You know, I feel a little squishy, so I will go ahead and pick that up. Happy with a little lifesteal, getting that positive. Happy to upgrade a Jousting Lance, and again, I do like crit on this character. Quite happy as well to go ahead and keep those Jousting Lances being upgraded. And, you know, there's no reason not to get a Mastery, right? Mastery is one of the best blue items, simply because, in melee at least, because it's just like flat 6 melee damage. I mean, there's really no downside. There's very few, there are a few edge builds, but very few melee characters really care about range. So most of the time it's just a flat 6 damage increase. And again, one of the hallmarks of this game is most items do give a negative bonus as well as a positive bonus. So it's nice that we don't even really have to consider that with the Mastery. So I really do like. But man, as soon as I saw this Jousting Lance come out, I'm like, this is going to work with Speedy. We can do some busted stuff with this, and we're sort of putting together the package here that we need to really have this character kind of pop off at the end. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. Another cool thing I really like was if we look at Speedy, right? He's kind of got like Daredevil looking glasses. I think he was probably inspired a little bit by like Evel Knievel, right? So I kind of think of this character as, okay, we got a leather jacket, we got a motorcycle, we're gonna be jumping some buses, we're probably in like Vegas somewhere, right? And that's kind of a fun image. And you can contrast that, like, no, you're not going to be like using like torches. You get a freaking bunch of jousters, so you got your night helmet, and you're kind of like running around jousting while you know, carrying these kind of crazy devil eyes. I don't know. The image just works for me, so I hope it works for you too. So let's take a look here. We were really getting some good Jousting Lances. Metal is an item that is really good in this character because this 3% speed does work with all of our speed bonuses, both of which, again, are not only present in our Speedy getting melee damage, but do help the weapon scale. And oh man, it is Jousting Lance store over here. So boy, but you can see, look at this. We're already at 134 speed, which cranks our melee damage all the way up to 64, which is really strong. I think 60 melee is normally, on an average run, where you want to be, like at the end, right? Like if I have 60 melee, I feel really good about killing the bosses. I generally think that 20 to 30 melee damage, or sorry, 20 to 30 range damage is kind of where you want to be on range. And I think, you know, 40 to 60 melee is usually enough to take the bosses out. So really happy to see where we're going. But again, that is that double scaling with the speed affecting our Jousting Lances and the Speedy characters sort of on buff melee. Now you can see we are a little weak here. We're moving so quickly, it's a little bit difficult to dodge, but you know what? More offense is a good thing. Like I said, I don't see a speed limit, so I am not slowing down. And besides, what's the point of playing a character that scales off speed if you can't get so fast that you can't really control yourself, you know, I like to live my fantasies of being reckless and fast and all that stuff in game, and Speedy helps me do that. So we're in a good spot. You know, don't love losing damage, or percent damage feels a little low, but I do want to get our armor up just a little bit. Hey, what better than legs level 4? Let's crank that up. Really happy. Again, our Jousting Lance strength is really, really strong. And again, I don't really love adding range, but attack speed and crit, I think, is very much worth it. Don't really want to lose luck for speed. I don't think at this point that trade-off is valuable. And again, I do like Peaceful Beat quite a bit because I think dodge and armor are better on this character. I'm just I mean, we're just like moving so quick. And we will scale rapidly from here. You know, we've kind of got the places in pieces in place to really really zoom around. But yeah, this is really really looking like a good run. We're really just waiting for that sort of holy grail. I can feel it. I'm calling it. Where's our power generator? Power generator will really set this off, and is really the last thing we need to complete this trifecta. Maybe a community support. We don't have that. But if we can get those items, especially the power generator, we are just going to be blowing off. I mean, we're already at 100 or 99 speed, so we're a little lower than I thought. That just means we got more to go. We need to keep this going up. You know, I'm not satisfied with merely fast. I want to be uncontrollably, dangerously. I might lose every hit fast. But you can see, you know, we are taking a lot of incidental damage. Kind of trying to control our cannonball here of a character. But you can see that piercing there, just blowing everything up with that rip and tear, just kind of speaking to the strength of that item. Never. I mean, I can't really think of a build where I like don't want to see a tree. Little armor's not bad. Was kind of hoping for some offensive. Again, we're doing really, really good with our Jousting Lances. We are way ahead there. Go ahead and take the vest. I don't really want the mouse simply because I think this character can get overwhelmed. Really happy with the Fidna, one of the best items on this character as well, giving us really valuable speed and lifesteal. And that 10% speed, 3% lifesteal is 10% speed, 5% or 5 more melee damage, in addition to at 50%, 2.5 more melee damage on the legendary Jousting Lances. So items like that, again, are just so strong. And there's a lot of really good items in this game that give good speed kind of as is. So it's like not like we're going to sacrifice speed. I mean, that's why I think this build is so fun, because most speed items, like, you want regardless, right? Like, you're not like, oh no, speed, right? So it really rewards you for taking things that I think you would normally prioritize. But, you know, it just leads to some fun builds. So one of the tricks on this character is when you do have a bunch of enemies kind of in front of you, is just sort of doing this zigzag attack pattern. You know, one of the things about playing the weapons that sort of pierce out is you can actually run by enemies, as in the attack animation is too slow if you just kind of circle around them. So I think sort of doing a small zigzagging pattern like that is just a really effective way to play this character. But man, we should have taken that mouse. We absolutely demolished that wave. Percent damage, lifesteal, what is not to love? Give me more luck. Yeah, we're taking more speed. Probably not the best choice, but probably should go for attack speed. But with our community support, which I knew we were going to get, no need. And again, really powerful set of items there in community support. And Finn, I think that's going to be extremely strong. And here, dropping our range down is totally fine. We're kind of in that sweet spot. And man, we are just getting Jousting Lance luck. Look at us now, man. 119% speed. We are just zooming it. We can see our crits really just starting to demolish our enemies. We get a little bit more melee damage. That will scale very quickly. So again, really feeling good about where we are, and I think we're headed to a pretty powerful kill here at the end. But we're not done yet. There's way more stuff we can get. So I'm hoping we can kind of pull that off here but you can see we're absolutely just wrecking the waves, destroying all the enemies as soon as they spawn. And just having a good time, right? Like, we're running around with our Jousting Lancing Daredevil, and if that image doesn't strike joy to you, then you probably have good taste. Anyway, we're really looking good, and I'm feeling strong about this. Again, right now, like, I just want to keep cranking the damage, right? Give me more offense, give me more speed, give me more melee damage, give me more crit. Maybe I'll be blessed with like a hunting trophy. But I think we're actually unironically getting a lot of value from that tentacle. So let's see where this next wave takes us here. A little muscly dude, kind of puts us in dangerously low range, but I'm okay with it. And a little armor, I think is just what the doctor ordered. Again, never upset with the tree. Give us more melee damage. We're at 90 melee damage. Oh lord. Little muscly dude. Again, I don't want to go too much lower in range. We're kind of at the edge of being able to get value out of that, but I will take it. We'll do one more reroll. I do like this in theory, but I don't really want to get that much range. I guess that gets back to 100. With community support, I think we have the support to do it. I just laugh. It's like, you know, I'm so used to playing other characters that I start this character, and it's like, oh my goodness, like, why are we moving so quickly? But, you know, it takes an adjustment. But like I said, going fast is fun. Speed is fun. Speed kills. Right? Wait, what? No, I mean, speed is fun. Speed doesn't kill. Maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going around, and like, you know, we're able at this point, fortunately, to have enough attack speed and damage where I think we'll be able to keep these wizards okay. Again, I think the sort of danger zone for this character is waves 14 to 18, simply because I think those wizards are so punishing in this character, simply because it is very, very hard to dodge those orbs that spawn, like, as you're running around at, like, 7,000 miles per hour. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, you just are going to have a hard time dodging it. But, again, attack speed really, really helps. You kind of keep this clear, and yeah, we're just slacking. I actually really am regretting not taking the mouse. Like I said, I've had a few runs where the wizards really did overwhelm me, and while I survived, I didn't like lose. It just made it so I couldn't be as offensive and get as many materials. Sure, we'll take a little harvesting, and yeah, that actually works really, really well. Really happy to see that Cyclops worm, because now we can take the night goggles, which again will give us a whopping 69% crit chance. Love a ritual as always. I think we have enough. You know, we don't really need that. Again, we'll even drop our range a little more with our beanie. We'll go ahead and 5 legendary Jousting Lances. That's really, really good. Bloody Hand here, really, really strong. I do think Wings is obviously a really good item normally, but I do not actually want to. They have the attack speed. We're gonna skip Wings. I don't want to get our attack range up too much. Look at this. You can't even see me. You can't even. Oh man, this is just wild. But you can see we're absolutely just demolishing this elite. This is a really fast elite kill for a little bit of a slower attacking weapon. You know what I mean? Spears are great, as are Jousting Lances, but they're not as efficient as like knives, or even like knight swords or ghost axes at killing elites. So I do think that was pretty impressive. I mean, we just demolished it. You can see our crits really, really just piling up. But man, we need more speed. 125. I want over 150 at least. I want to have no ability to control my character. That's my dream when I play this. I just want to be so frantically rolling around like a giant, you know, sort of giant blazing ball of Jousting Lances, you know, which is what I dream about at night. But anyway, really doing good. Really great clear speed here. You know, I'm playing a little recklessly, which is on one hand kind of hard not to do on this character, but you can see all our luck. We're getting all these crates, so feeling quite good about where this run is headed. Don't think we need the torture. I will take the coffee, no need for engineering. And you know what? This does work a little bit with the rip and tear. So happy to see that. At this point, I do think a little dodge is not a bad thing. Really happy with the Bloody Hand, you know, giving us a really good damage boost there. That's really going to help our offense. So I'm happy to see that. Happy with the blindfold. Let's get more speed, baby. How fast is too fast? I don't know. We might find out. We'll go ahead and take this mastery again. I think that's quite strong. But we are just... Woo! I mean, look at that. You know, it's like, what are you gonna do? Already hitting for 622. Yeah, this is just, we're zooming, baby. I mean, and that doesn't make you smile. You know what I mean? Like, we're a little low in health. I mean, what's our armor at? Armor's at 12, so I think we're probably more than fine. But like I said, normally I'm more than happy with 50 health. But you know, we take more damage on this character. But I think our offense has reached the point where like it isn't really an issue. Well, this is something. Anyway, we're just going to demolish this wave, and then we will demolish the bosses. If you are watching this, my name is Sean. I run a channel called Sean Tier, which I started about 2 weeks ago, which is a play my name Sean, and the term S Tier, which is, of course, a wonderful gaming term. Had this channel going for about 2 weeks, and really flattered with the reception. Already got a couple thousand channel views. What I try to do here is take a little bit more analytical look at Brotato while cracking some jokes and keeping you entertained. If you do like this video, it would mean a lot if you hit that subscribe button. And if you even toss in a like and maybe even a comment, I will personally come to your house cosplaying Speedy Gonzalez and give you a signed PVC Jousting Lance so you can go ahead and rock all your local Renaissance fairs. Will I actually do that? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Really happy with big arms here. Again, don't like losing speed, but a whopping 10 melee damage. That's just very strong. No point to grab mouse at this point. Give me that. Give me a coupon. I don't know if I really needed it, but like I'm buying, right? Like I'm hitting buy. I'm buying. I'm spending. Not doing a whole lot at this point. Another silver bullet. Oh man, we are going to demolish these bosses. 133% speed. Oh man, look at that. Like one period. I told you we get the 1,000 crits. I told you we get the 1,000 crits. And again, just showing the absolute strength. Boom. 1,000 crits. I'm not even playing defense, baby. I'm playing like a knight. Really, really good run. So I guess that just shows the power of this character. And again, well, we didn't get the power generator that run. That silver bullet sort of mirrors the strength, how we got on that run. But outside that, absolutely busted. Rip and tear, absolutely doing work. 33,821 damage. How much did this tentacle heal? 203 HP. Again, tentacle really, really strong on this character, but you can see 110 melee damage, 2 silver bullets. Just really, really stomping this run. Anyway, hope this is a good look at the sort of speedy Jousting Lance build, which I do think is quite fun. So go ahead and give it a try and let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching. Take care.